Hey guys, time for my last market update for about a month and a half while I'm going to be gone. I'm just going to jump into it. Let's take a look at the markets. We may have some relief here, but we have, CPI and PPI coming this week. So let's start with Bitcoin. Let's take a look. So we have our range, and I'm not going to be talking about the high time frame range. I'm just looking at this range over here. We have our highs, we have our lows, okay? We had a little deviation, and it looks about the same on the downside here, okay? So we had a deviation here, and then now we have a deviation here. We actually did reclaim the support or the range low levels. So this looks like it wants to go to mid-range from here. That's how we're going to play it. So if you are taking longs, this would be your setup. Okay, you can actually have tighter stops. So easy invalidation if you're longing from here, mid-range to there. But let's draw some confluence here as well, right? So let's do this. We have a possible breakout coming. Okay. Like I said, we actually flip this into support. So longing from here, it's going to be risky, but you have TP1 at mid-range and then TP2 at the range highs. Now, if we go to lower time or a higher time frame here, we do have a supply zone, but also a bearish order block. And there is a possibility that we could go into here and then reject, put in another lower high, okay, and then continue our grind down. So like we still aren't completely out of the woods yet. And I've mentioned when I would be bullish in the Discord, but just a quick recap. I'm not bullish until we flip 65K to support. So anything below that for me is a lower target. And a quick recap of that. So as I mentioned, again, all the things that I'm posting is going to be in the Discord. I'm not going to be providing stuff really on Twitter as much. But I mentioned that, when we were at 65K, if we lost, if we rejected from the 65K point, which is right here, and at that point we put in another lower high, and theoretically we were supposed to go down to make another lower low, and that's exactly what we did here, right? So if I were to go to a line chart, okay, so lower high, lower low, and we just put in a lower low. Now, this is a very important level, like I mentioned, but if this level of 53 down to 50K level is lost, then we start looking at that weekly demand zone of 40 to 44K. All right. So until then, we're just going to play it level by level, but if that level is lost, then we play this. Okay, this demand zone. Now, I would not be surprised because everyone and their mother is looking at this level. If this level is lost, we have lows at here, okay, around 38K. And I'm going to draw this trend line here for you guys. And the importance of this level is like do or die, bull market slash bear market. But we could easily come down here and wick below, take this liquidity, and still close up and put in a double bottom and continue to go higher. Okay. I mentioned my stance in the Discord, from 65K to 61K to 58K to 54K, so on and so forth. I mentioned that I was low time frame, which is the daily time frame, and lower, bearish as fuck. Okay, on a higher time frame, which is the weekly and higher, I am neutral bullish. So we can come down here and still, bounce from here. As long as we are maintaining this trend line, I am totally fine. We are in a bull market. And like I said, the bull market started once we broke this level here. Okay, this 25K level, and we flipped it. We started making a higher low. That is when the bull market started. This bull market is about 60 to 70% over. I've said this before. I'm sticking to my claim. Again, I could be wrong, but I'm sticking to my bias when this market is over. So we have until like Q1, Q2 before this this market is over. Or sorry, the cycle is over. I still do think that we have highs coming in, this for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is not in a bull flag. This is a downward channel. Okay, so even if I were to pull the parallel channel and draw this, okay, this is a parallel channel. All right, this is not a bull flag. Okay, we have been rejecting from this mid channel, all right, consistently, and until we get above the 65K level that I mentioned, okay, this level here, I'm going to highlight it blue for you guys. Until we are able to get above that level, I am not bullish. Until if we flip it, then I turn bullish and we target the highs. If we target the highs this time, I think we will actually break through. But that is my bullish confirmation. 65K is when I turn ultra bullish. All right, or down here. Okay, but as long as we are below the range lows of 61K, it's just chop for me. Now, going back to this chart here, and let's go to a lower time frame. Again, don't be surprised if we take out this liquidity. This will be a hard sell-off wick. All right, come and take this liquidity and then V reversal up. This is where you want to buy. I don't care if you're a bull. I don't care if you're a bear. This is where you buy. Now, back on the lower time frame, I am going to get rid of this channel really quickly. Okay. So our first tough rejection point is going to be that 12-hour supply zone, right, or order block. Rejection from there means we probably go lower. If we are able to break this, all right, our first rejection comes at the mid-range point, and then that's where you TP a good chunk, move your stop loss to break even, and then we target these highs. Now we have CPI and PPI this week. So keep your eyes out on that. Don't over leverage, don't over position, because it could get tough from here. But also, we could easily put in a failed deviation here and then just start our grind down. So I am very, I'm having a hard time reading price action down here. And if someone says like we're going up from here, we're going down from here, to be honest, like it's very hard to say. But this is an area where we have to bounce from if we do want to go higher. All right. So if you're taking this setup, this is what it would look like. If I were to take it, I post in Discord. I'm already spot long on Bitcoin, so I'm not going to take it on leverage. But this would be your leverage setup if you were to take it, and then you're going to take profits at whatever you want, wherever you're comfortable. I already gave you the possible TP points, so that's just on you from that point on. All right. If we get to 61.5, 62K, I'm definitely shorting. I gave that in the Discord, so just follow there. Let's take a look at ETH. Now, ETH is the weakest of the weak. All right, this coin is utter shit, and there is a strong possibility that we will go further down if Bitcoin goes further. Obviously, we go further down, but the levels that I'm going to give are going to freak out a lot of people, and that's okay. I'm here to be non-biased and give my levels of higher or lower. But the level that is going to be 1745-ish, basically down to 1500. Right? You have your weekly order block. Right? Now I'm going to draw this trend line really quickly and show you the importance of this. So this is an uptrend, right? We are putting in highs and lows, Okay, if this is your low, then we broke market structure, right? But we can still come back down here and bounce. This is where we need to hold. All right. If we lose this level and we go further down, then I'm confidently saying that ETH's top is in. All right. We can easily come back and bounce from here. Your first TP would be the rejection of this trend line, but then if we are able to reclaim it, right, you can always add more to your position. But before we talk about this level, let's talk about the lower time frame. All right, let's not get carried away here. So we do have liquidity. Okay, we do have liquidity. I'm just gonna call this one, and then this is an important level as well. Okay. So this level that I'm gonna make that blue for you guys as well. Very important. Okay, we have support, and it was previously resistance. We need to hold above that level, and it also ties with our trend line. Okay, so back to this time frame here. So unlike Bitcoin that just had this reclaim, ETH has not. All right, so if I were to draw this, let's make this a little bigger, and then we have our range highs. Okay, so see how we have the deviation, break above, turn to support, and reclaim? ETH is just flirting with this resistance. All right, and it has potentially the same setup. Okay, it looks like it wants to break out, but if you have that reclaim and flip, this would be your setup. Now, like I mentioned, ETH is weaker in comparison to Bitcoin. Okay, but this would be your setup. All right, and then you have mid-range here. Okay, so TP1, TP2. Now, just like Bitcoin, you're going to have a breaker or a supply zone here. Okay, so if I were to take this play, to be honest, to give myself less risk here, I'd be looking for something like this. Whoops, that's a short. Okay, so we have a swing play playing the range, and then we have a scalp play, right? Very tight scalp, looking for this, come back down into this OB, and then make another lower high, and then continue the grind up. Okay, and then you're going to take profits at levels of a resistance for yourself. Okay. Most of your position should be closed around 2400 if we get that pump. Okay, and then going back to range play. Playing this again. Now we go up, left shoulder. Here is your head, right? We can easily go back up into here, come back down, reject, maybe put in the right shoulder, right? You have an inverse head and shoulders, breakout, retest, and the technical targets would be around the critical resistance of this previous liquidity pocket. Okay. Again, we take it level by level. You have your scalp potential play. You have your swing, and then you have your range, mid-range short. Now, if that level gets flipped to support, you can cut your position. You can cut your short position. You should be, long if you get long from here, and then you target the range highs. Right. Next up is going to be Solana. All right, and Sol, okay, did have a bullish divergence. All right, you had a bullish divergence with prices making lower lows and RSI making. You can go to a 12-hour as well. Okay. And price making higher lows. Okay, so that is a bullish divergence. And Sol swept the lows, put in SFP, and at that point it gave you a nice 6% bounce almost. Now, let's take this from a clean perspective. I like my charts like how I like my women, completely nude. All right. This is a must-hold level for this shitcoin. Right? Demand zone, must hold. It's getting weaker and weaker every single time. It really needs to pump here. Otherwise, this bullish divergence just negates and just continues to go down. And we probably go and take out these lows and hopefully go sub 100. Now, if you guys have been following my trade with Sol that I've given in my videos, the past like 3 videos, then you would see how much I hate this coin, and we took the short at 160, and I'm looking for sub 100. All right. Now again, let's put that liquidity pocket there, or sorry, the lows there, and let's focus on where we are now. Okay. Let's go to this. So this is a short area where I gave in my channel where I place, where I'm actually going to be short in this coin. We have a supply zone. We do have an SR point. Okay. We go back up, make another lower high, and then continue our grind down. Right, and the resistance point falls perfectly in line with the golden fib. That's where you're going to DCA. You can give yourself a little bit higher point. Even if your DCA hits, your average moves to like somewhere over here. Okay, so it lowers your risk, gives you a nice potential R&R play, but that's what I'm looking at. Now that is going to be a swing play if we get it. Second is I am looking at one sec. All right. So we have resistance here. Okay. And we do have this here. So if I were taking this short, perfect fill of the golden pocket already. For those that have been following me, my students, I talk about the 2 major reversal points. That is the golden pocket and the 786 fib. We had a perfect rejection from the golden pocket. I took it from the swing high to the swing low, and you got yourself a nice almost 3% move down. Next up, I am looking to short around, I'm going to front run this a little bit. Okay, the 786 fib, and maybe a wick. Actually, I'm going to short the resistance. It's not too far away from the 786 fib, maybe a little bit above it. All right, so the 786 fib lies at 133.73. I'm going to start my short at 134.5, and I'm going to give myself a tight risk. That is going to be a quick short. Okay, look for that, and at that point, take profits whenever you want. All right. Again, if you're shorting, you're going to take profits at levels of support. If you're longing, it's going to be the vice versa. All right. So swing, scalp, longs. I have spot positions, but if you want a very, very tight long, you have the previous swing low level. Okay, we took it out. You could do a possible something like that. Okay, set bids at the previous swing low, stops below the wick, right? Very tight stops, and then you're targeting that resistance again. Okay, but keep in mind, if we go further down, this is going to be a very weak coin because the BTC pairing looks like garbage. All right. Next, SUI. Now, this is a very strong coin. We just actually did take the highs here, this liquidity. So, and even more so, rejected from this OB. But the reason why this coin is so strong is because its BTC pairing is strong as fuck. Okay. Maybe putting a double top here, but we had a breakout from a very crucial level. We had a little falling wedge. Breakout. Now we need to hold this level. Okay. A deviation back. And I'm going to change this to a line chart. This could be a double top, right? If this level is held, and by this level I'm looking at this black line here, okay, it's going to be good. We should continue to grind higher. Close below, turn into resistance. SUI will be hit hard. Okay, when SUI's at resistance, which it was here, and the BTC pairing, right, looks bearish, then the actual USDT pairing will get hit the hardest. All right, but vice versa, if Bitcoin is going down, the BTC pairing looks strong. When Bitcoin goes back up, the USDT pairing is going to be propelled higher at a stronger rate. That's exactly what happened. See, look, the whole entire BTC market went down while SUI was going up. And look at this. Like, since September 3rd, this coin's up 33%. Since September 3rd, BTC is down 10%. All right, so focus on the BTC pairing. Now, an area where I'm looking for a pullback on this coin is going to be at this order block. Okay. Now again, you have to keep in mind the BTC pairing here. All right. This could have easily been a bearish Quasimodo pattern. Right. Higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, and then possibly further down. This can also be a 3 drive pattern, right? So if this level holds, and I'd probably take this on spot, and BTC actually does bounce, then you can see this coin probably head back to $1 and higher. So I would probably set bids from 83.6 down to 77.8. Okay, this can be a stop play. Stop would be manual close under this level, under 73 cents. Manual close. You can close out your spot. At that point, we are making another lower low, but this could bounce from here, so we can get back into it at this lower level here. But if this holds here, we could continue to grind higher. All right, so I'd probably take this on spot. If you think the market's going to bounce from here, then SUI and CRV, which I will be covering, are the two top picks for me personally. All right. Speaking of CRV, let's jump into it. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at CRV. So, very, very strong coin. All right. It is, however, at a very crucial level here. Okay. This could be another lower high. But if we do get pullbacks on this coin, let's go to a little bit higher time frame. Perfect bounce from that order block. Let me just bring up the BTC pairing really quickly. BTC pair, this fucking Coinbase. All right, that's cleaner. Okay. BTC pairing looks like it wants to break out, right? Looks bullish. It might have put in another higher low here just by these candles. So if this breaks out, CRV is going to be bullish. Close above here, we could possibly push higher. Now this is all reliant on Bitcoin. If we get the pullback, this would be most likely your setup. Okay. Okay. So anywhere from 25.5 down to 24.4. Manual stops under daily closure under here. Okay. And that is where you are going to play this coin. All right. So that is my thoughts on the market. If I do give something, it's going to be in the Discords. I will be gone after next week, so I won't be updating anything. So if you are taking these these positions, you're on your own. Make your own judgments, and please be wary of both sides. Don't be a bull. Don't be a bear. If you are a trader, you play both sides. All right. Have a good one, everyone.